And evidence shows really doesn't even help with this stuff. It's kind of like everything Merck and others put out there just makes you have heart attacks. Remember and that came out that Merck had a, quote, hit list. It's mainstream news on doctors who were exposing what their Vioxx was doing to people's hearts. But side issue, it's not Merck involved with the Tamiflu. It's another company. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of natural remedies out there. Thank you so much for calling us from northern Mexico, sir.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, I want to cut to Aaron Dykes right now. Let's go ahead and cut to him. Aaron, you're in here off camera, but I just wanted you on the radio with us right now, and then we'll punch up the screen for a moment for folks. Oh, no, you're on camera with us now. Specifically, just put me everything you got. There was an AP or Reuters, I think it was Reuters, I'm going from memory, that said that the federal official that greeted Obama is now dead. So just Google something like man who shook Obama's hand, now dead of flu. I need that. And also, again, a bunch of stories, and they're out there in the printed versions I did, but they're hard to read because the printer was out of ink. I need you to find me the article about AP, why deaths in Mexico but not U.S. And I wanted to go over that article. That was a question I was answering all day, and then about 2 hours ago, AP asked the question. And it's basically because it's probably mutating by the time it gets here, because it goes through so many generations by the time it gets here. And also the key is I need you to look into, because I've confirmed they've locked down Mexico City. And that's 35 million people in the suburbs, 28 million in the city limits. I mean, this is the biggest city in the world, an absolute hellhole, the worst kidnapping, giant open sewers. I feel so sorry for those folks. No wonder they want to come here. They're driven off their land in the south by the UN agreements under UNESCO and then sent there. But, you know, we've really been talking about this lately, and I'm not tooting my horn again, but I said I'm really seeing bird flu the way they're pre-hyping as some type of trial balloon to panic people. They get control, even if it is just a light pandemic and burns out. We hope and pray that's the case. The fact that it's mutated from so many different strains of bird and pig and human together from all over the world in one spot, that's a huge red flag. You start adding all this together. The SPP saying they'd use a pandemic to bring in the North American Union. That's very suspicious. Aaron Dykes, give me your take on this.
Well, I'm far from an expert on this, but it is troubling. Knowing things like Obama had stock in Tamiflu, doesn't help anything. I hope it doesn't spread further, obviously. I don't know what else I could add.
By the way, we did find the article. Well, this is says Obama shook hands with man that's now dead, died from swine flu. So we'll just get me a printout on that. That's a blog linking to it. Anything else, Aaron?
No.
Okay. I mean, you've heard my breakdown of this. Do you have any other angles on it? Because studying it, the fact that it's from all over the world mutating in Mexico, that's really suspicious. And then I haven't even gotten into, a month ago, Bloomberg and AP and others reporting that you have a mutated bird flu, one of the most deadly strains, mixed on purpose in 18 countries with the vaccine. And it was mixed perfectly with the vaccine spectrum of normal human flu viruses to where it would mutate in the body and combine to create an airborne bird flu. The scientists in the Czech Republic and Germany in mainstream news said, we believe this may be done on purpose to create a pandemic. And then they could blame it on the subsidiaries they were ordering to take the seed batch, the seed, the virus stock to then make larger batches at their sub-factories in Europe. And then suddenly accompanying headlines in London Telegraph about all these homeless told, we're giving you this vaccine, it's just a flu shot, and then they die of the bird flu. And then that's mainstream news. And I've been saying, folks, what's going on here? Well, there's no way Baxter could have done that on accident. And you put all this together, and then this happens. I hadn't even gotten to that yet. And now this, Aaron?
Well, it's true. They have their hands in the pot, so who else are you going to look to?
Well, I mean, they have this history of doing it over and over again. So we would be remiss if we didn't question it. Rob was showing me a clip right before showtime of Al Gore testifying Friday. And they banned people the day he testified from criticizing him. But they had, in untelevised hearings, because we're reading the transcripts, scientists, the majority of them out there, and they've had 30-something thousand signed letters now, and the UN's got 2,000 that say it's real, 30,000 that say global warming, being man-made is a fraud. It goes up and down with the sun. And the reason I'm changing subjects is this shows how they use conspiracy theory. And Al Gore, we ought to try to find the clip. I bet it's on YouTube, but I just saw it on C-SPAN from what Rob taped. Said, oh, well, there's people that believe we didn't walk on the moon. Those are conspiracy theorists. These are degreed climatologists, the people that study the sun, all of this. He just says, oh, you're just conspiracy theorists. No, we have the government in the U.S. thousands of times alone, not to mention other governments, releasing bioweapons. You've got the Russians releasing them on their own people. And so who normally does this in history is government. So we would be mental patients if we didn't look at them first, just mindless idiots in denial.
But they're just going to kill the messenger instead. That seems to be the MO.
Well, yeah, this conspiracy theorist thing now is this. I don't care what 30,000 scientists say. They believe we didn't walk on the moon. They didn't say anything about not walking on the moon.
No, I know. They just shut out the whole debate and frame it only how they want it to be framed. And how exactly that transfers to the swine flu, I don't know. But, yeah, we know about these terrible episodes where they were clearly in control.
I'm not taking breaks on this show tonight because don't really have folks get my own coffee, but I literally can't take a break, so I can't leave. Aaron, do me a big favor. I know you're busy printing those articles. Get me those articles, and you have somebody, and I guess we don't have the secretary here today, get me a cup of coffee. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, when I do these shows without breaks, there's no bathroom breaks. There's no time to get coffee, and that coffee got cold before I ever drank it, so I need some energy here, and I have some coffee. That's the only drug I get to enjoy now. I don't smoke a cigar anymore, I don't drink any beer anymore. And I don't get to, I used to even have a pipe. Not because I'm like an old man or something. It's fun to load it up and smoke you some nice vanilla tobacco or something. I'm an old-fashioned guy. It's what I like. I don't even do that anymore. But I still have a cup of coffee in the morning and at night if I've got to stay up because I'm going to work on a film once the show is done today. We may go past 10. Jaron, I know you got a party you were going to go to. Are you game to go past 10? If need be, okay. I don't want to go too far because I got to go to church in the morning. But I may not, though. If these cases start popping up in Austin and it's causing deaths. If it turns into a pandemic, I am going to be here this next week in studio, but I'm packing my bags. There's not a shower at this office, though I've been trying to get one added, but I guess I can wash under my arms in the sink in there. I'm going to come stay here, and I'm going to have my family locked down out at our house, and I'm going to come stay here. In fact, we got to pull the trigger on that. By Monday, we'll know. Jaron, and I want to see who wants to volunteer with me because we're going to have to lock ourselves in here. Whoever comes in here stays in. Whoever goes out stays out. We got to lock our families down if it does. Now, I'm not saying that's happening. The point is they're already got quarantines in South Texas and San Antonio at some hospitals and homes. That's confirmed. I got the AP and Reuters right here. They're already locking down states in Mexico and Mexico City. And this thing has killed a bunch of people in Mexico, and it hasn't killed anybody here yet. Hasn't mutated to a less virulent strain by the time it got here, which happens. That's how it works if it's a really naturally occurring event. If it's virulent all over, folks, and kills people all over, you're looking at a staged event. We don't know. Time will tell. That's why we're here covering this. Do I have any other calls from Mexico? Okay. I'm going to every time we open the lines up, dozens of calls come in, but I'm going to open them up again in a minute for only people in Mexico. Please, or if you directly are in a quarantine area in Texas or Kansas or Canada. Okay, I'm going to go to everybody else. You don't have to hang up. But don't you want to know, viewers and listeners out there? Okay, Reese has good info. I want to give the number of folks in Mexico. 888-201-2244. 888-201-2244, 888-201-2244. Listen carefully. And we got the 512-646-1776, 512-646-1776 is the answer to 1984, 1776. Let's go ahead and talk to Reese in Texas. Reese, you're on the air.
Hey, man. Hey, this kind of freaked me out because when they said Steele High School here, my heart kind of dropped, man, because I can see the lights from my house. It's less than 2 miles away.
Yeah, that's right. I have the AP on that. Tell folks again, that's one of the high schools in South Texas shut down because some of the kids that go there, they have it, and their families are locked down under police guard in their homes. Tell folks about that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Well, slowly. Tell folks the name of your town, your school. Give them all the details, Reese.
All right. I live in Cibolo, Texas. It's just north of San Antonio, about an hour away from Austin. My father's actually on the school board here, and from what I was hearing this morning when I woke up, they were thinking about shutting down the entire school district next week, but from what I hear right now, they are just closing down Steele High School here. And they had a public meeting scheduled for the 27th. I was going to go there, film it. They've canceled that. Basically, that's all I know, man. But I got to be honest with you, we're freaking out over here because, it's just right on our doorstep. What I don't understand is why they would pick this town. I don't understand, man. But
well,
anyway.
It may be naturally occurring. There are hundreds of real flus every year.
You're listening to GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio.